We are back, baby. Viewz, Toob. It's your boy Viewz. And we got another one. UK drill plug. Big up your shoes and socks. We're going again. Huddersfield was last time. Today, deadly divide in Manchester, baby. And any big city. Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, Wolves, Leicester, Nottingham. Big cities. I'm expecting things to be going ahead. I'm expecting there to be action. I'm expecting it to be fried. I'm just putting my fan on. Give me a second. Hopefully the internet's all right. Been struggling a little bit, but without too much further ado, baby, let's do it. Let's get it up. Let's get it in the right way. The deadly divide in Manchester, TDR versus TCG. Haven't heard of any of them. Let's learn together, baby.
From an outside look in, Manchester appears as a safe city, with it being located in the northwest of England. However, what a lot of people are unaware of is the ongoing gang war resulting in the crime rate soaring in Manchester, with Manchester even being ranked within the top 3 most dangerous cities in England in a recent study, with Manchester having over 95,000 reported crimes, which is crazy considering the population of Manchester is around 500,000. Manchester has also even been labeled the murder capital of the UK. In recent years, the ongoing gang war between 2 gangs in Manchester would begin to be publicized.
And before I even hear anything here, I'll give you like the little not information, but yeah, we done a lot. We done well, not the last one. The last one was Huddersfield. The one before that was Birmingham. We knew about the Johnsons, the Burgers in Manchester. We know about, what was it called, Moss Side Crew or something, Moss Side back in the day. I don't know what's popping up there now. I'm from London, but yeah, we know about Moss Side. I don't know if any of these guys are from that area or whether it's new groups coming up. Probably is, but just before anything gets said, that's the only thing that's ringing any bells for Manchester. You know what I'm saying?
These 2 gangs being TDR and TCG, this rivalry has proven to be deadly, with people being stabbed, shot, and killed due to their involvement. Before I start the video, I'll be sharing today's paid promo. If you are an underground or up-and-coming artist in the northwest of England, make sure to check out my boys over at Beats and Bars. They offer amazing custom rap, hip-hop, and drill music videos, which include freestyles.
Oh, are they going to play something here? Now, don't get it twisted. I got no problem with these people advertising their thing. I'm basically using their content. But if it's anything musical, like in the Huddersfield one, there was a bit where Buta B's lyrics came on and it got copyright. So if I just, yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna, it looks like, yeah, someone's gonna freestyle. We're just gonna jump ahead quickly, guys. My apologies.
If this sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to tap the link in the comments to go to their channel, and maybe you can be the next to blow in the rap scene. TDR is a large street gang based around multiple roads around the M16 postcode of Manchester. These roads include Platt Lane and Whitmore Road, to name a few. The gang has been around since the mid-1990s, with them originally going by other names. The original gang would form in the mid-1990s. They would be referred to as the Gooch Crips.
The Gooch Crips? Can't say that's ringing any bells.
Around this time, with them heavily flagging the color blue.
But obviously with the Crips and Blood, like there's so many London sets that run with that, innit? So it's a big influence.
Clear they took inspiration from America. Anyways, the gang during this time was mainly composed of street dealers that would do anything to protect their territory. Their main rivals around this time was with another street gang referred to as the Pepper Hill Gang, which has become TCG in recent years. Anyways, around 1996, a younger offshoot gang would start to appear. This gang was referred to as Young Gooch Gang and was known to be a quite feared gang in the area, with them gaining a reputation as shootings and stabbings would be linked to the gang. Around 2005, many different offshoot gangs would start to pop up under the Young Gooch Gang name. This included the Old Trafford Crips, Longsight Street Soldiers, Rusholme Crip Gang, Fallowfield Mad Dogs, and the Take Dat Risk Gang, which we know as TDR today. These gangs fall under an alliance known—
I'm saying so many different offsets, and that's what happens with these gangs and areas. A lot of the people grew up together. They might have only lived like a mile or 2 apart. You know what I'm saying? It's all very local. I've not heard of not one of these gangs. As I said, it was like Moss Side, But that, I think that's an area, no, if I'm not mistaken.
As Gooch Crips, which include the Rusholme Crips, or nicknamed RCG. So for simplicity's sake, I'll be including RCG and TDR in this video, as they share a lot of the same beef and are allied. Popular members from TDR include MB, Soulja Souls, and Abs. Now similarly to the...
Not heard of any of these guys. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? If any of these guys rap, I'm trying to think. Bugsy's like the biggest thing out of Manchester that people in London know. I don't know if people are more tapped in with whatever's going on up there now. Excuse me, I'm not sure. But if there is any fire rappers in some of these gangs, let me know, and we may react to the music.
Crip Alliance. Around the mid-1990s, there would also be a Blood Alliance formed. This included many different street gangs that repped the color red and made all of their beef focused towards the Crip gangs within the area. So much so that so many shootings and stabbings would occur between the gangs. Residents living in each area would actually leave the area, moving to safer places within Manchester. Around the 2000s, the Blood Alliance would consist of the Moss Side Bloods,
Moss Side Blood. So is it an area? It must be an area, isn't it?
TCG, Doddington, and Hume. However, in recent years, inside beef would start to occur within the alliance, most likely due to either money or drugs. Nowadays, the current generation of these gangs consists of AO, or Active Only, and TCG, or Top Crash Gang, with a lot of their old beef still continuing today. Prominent members of TCG include SK, Jenna, and Talgreasy.
Again, who? Do you know what I'm saying? No disrespect. Like I'm like I said, I'm from London, innit? Unless any of these guys rap, why would I have heard of them? Do you know what I'm saying? Unless they're making the news or something. A lot of these guys sometimes do. So anyway, let's continue. I got told I stop a lot, so I'm trying to let it play a bit more.
Both TDR and TCG have had a rivalry since the mid-1990s. The beef would begin when TCG members would start selling drugs on TDR territory. Both of these gangs were known by different names at the time. However, for simplicity's sake, I'll refer to them as TDR and TCG. Anyways, due to the two gangs starting to associate themselves with colors, it started to look like a Crip versus Bloods gang. War was playing out in front of our eyes. Stabbings, shootings, and murders would be very common between the gangs. In recent years, the beef would prove to be insanely deadly. On the 30th of December 2015, a man would be shot in the chest while standing on Salisbury Street within TCG territory. It's largely speculated the people behind this brazen attack were either TDR members or RCG members, which are allied under the Crip gangs. Anyways, the beef would explode around this time, and on the 22nd of March 2016, a young man often referred to as Muds would be fatally stabbed in Moss Side. Police and emergency services would arrive on the scene. However, Muds would sadly be pronounced
20-year-old, so he was 20. I was thinking he don't look young like some of the other guys that they show. 20 still though, man. We're not talking like people that's really lived their life. Do you know what I mean? None of this stuff's good, man. But as I've been saying in some of the other videos, some of these victims, some of the perps, they're like 12 and 13. It's like, what on earth? Do you know what I mean? You know, 20-year-old, it's not good either way, but it's a bit better than 12 and 13. Now Abdul Rashid Viewz, 23, of Broadfield Road, Moss Side, is to go on trial for murder. So the guy who died was 20, and then, you know, the next guy who did it is 23. 3 men have been charged with assisting or encouraging an offender, including something of Cavendish Mill, Ashton Underline, Kaz Johnson, 30 of Linden. Okay. So at least these guys are a little bit older. But you can just say, look, the oldest one I'm seeing here is 46. This is crazy. Sorry, guys. Let's continue.
Dead on the scene. The killers would flee with a murder investigation being launched. During the investigation, all of the members involved would be arrested and sentenced for the murder, with the killer Abdul Hafida Viewz being sentenced to life with a minimum of 23 years. He would even point gun fingers at the family of Muds and would even smirk at them.
So the guy I just read him, like, he didn't even look 23. He looked quite young for someone that was 23.
Manchester Evening News would go on to report this, with them starting to report.
See, they just made the news
On the ongoing Rusholme Crips and Moss Side Bloods war within Manchester. Only 2 months later, on the 12th of May 2016, a member of the Rusholme Crips, or RCG, named Abdul Hafida, would be walking on Moss Side.
I mean, how old is he? Do you know what I mean? Barely any facial hair on him.
Territory, home to the AO gang allied with TCG. A gang of AO members would spot Abdul and would drive into him with their Vauxhall Corsa. The member
Told you about the floor and bore. So this is even going on back then in Manchester. Like, it's It shouldn't even have a term. Do you know what I mean? But this is the life that we're all in.
Members within the car would jump out of the car and stab him multiple times in the neck and abdomen. Police and emergency services would arrive following the incident. Ambulance.
And sorry, just quickly, I know I'm stopping it now. Like, some of the other videos I've spoken about, you know, the peer pressure of these events, and a lot of the time it is, but you do get the certain sets that they literally are addicted to drillings. They're addicted to it, shootings, stabbings. So when you heard that, they jumped out and multiple stabs to the abdomen and the neck. Like, they're really trying to hook him. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you get the peer pressure ones, they're usually just anywhere that they can get them, or arms, legs, you know, like they're trying to do the drill, but they're not trying to kill, if you know what I mean, which is stupid, but it's the way it is. And not everyone's like that, evidently.
Would try their best to save Abdul. However, despite their best attempts, he would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene, with a murder investigation being launched. All 11 of the men involved in the
11 of the men. Are any of them men really though? Do you know what I mean? They're all looking like boys to me.
Incident would be arrested and would be handed life sentences. Rest in peace, Abdul. Shootings and stabbings incident would be arrested.
Sorry. Now, obviously, these are all serious, you know, subjects and serious things that's been going on. But why is this one down here in the bottom in the red looking like a mixed race Snoop Dogg, or I don't know, like why is he looking a bit like Luigi? I shouldn't crack joking it. Sorry, I know I'm going to hell, but it's only for things like that. I'm not a horrible person, but I will crack a little joke here and there.
And would be handed life sentences. Rest in peace, Abdul. Shootings and stabbings would continue following this, with the crime rate within Manchester rising. It would peak around 2017 and 18, with there being 122.6 crimes per 1,000 people, compared to the previous years being 105 crimes in 2016 and 81 crimes in 2015. Around the end of 2016 and start of 2017, a gang based around the Gartside estate within Ardwick on the M12 and M13 postcodes would start to make noise in the streets. The gang based here would be referred to as 7M, with them being affiliated with nearby Longsight.
Who is this now? Sorry, 7M.
The gang based here would be referred to as 7M.
Whole different color. Just a new set coming up in the area.
With them being affiliated with nearby Longsight, they have beef with the Moss Side Bloods, which includes TCG. The 7M gang would start to drop songs around the start of 2017, with them dropping songs like Breaking Bad and RNO. However, 6 days after the release of Breaking Bad, the 7M gang would find themselves in the news.
What, the whole of them?
On the 8th of August 2017, 8 members of 7M
again. I'm probably going to hell. The first thing I shouldn't be noticing is my man's nose. I know that. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, none of this is joke worthy, but I'm a bit twisted in it. There's so much I want to say. There's so much I want to say. But in the spirit of trying to keep it a bit more serious, yeah, and, you know, something that we're supposed to learn off of, state of that hooter though. Listen, let me just keep it moving.
Would be hanging out outside of a chippy near the Manchester Apollo when they would get a phone call from a drug dealer, tipping them off about the whereabouts of a rival. Around...
Sorry. So, oh my, sorry. You see what I'm saying about life? Like, so whoever this guy was, you've gone to this guy to pick up something. You've gone to put some business his way, and then he phones your ops. Like, wow. So you can't trust no one, man, I swear.
This time, a member of an alleged opposition gang named Sait would get off a bus coming from Manchester city centre. As he was getting off the bus, he would be alerted of the presence of opposition members nearby. A stolen Fiat 500 would approach, this containing the 7M members. The members would drive into Sait and his friends. Sait and his friends who were
and his friends. Remember what I told you on the previous videos as well. Sorry for stopping it a lot now. But when things are there, they have to be said. Know who your friends are. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're not involved, but you know someone's involved, you need to stop parring with them. Like, and I say this all the time, the people that's doing this type of thing, I'm not condoning it at all. live your life how you want to live it. But come on, if you're doing this kind of stuff, at least get the people that you're trying to get. Why are you just driving into a group of people? It's like people that slap up the funeral, or people that slap up the mosque, or there's a whole group of people there. That's what really gets on my nerves.
Allegedly TCG members would flee towards Moss Side's Millennium Park. The 7M members would catch up and a massive fight would ensue, with the 7M members shouting "Dip him." This attack would result in Sait and his 3 other friends being stabbed. However, Sait's wounds would prove to be deadly, with police and emergency services being called to the scene. Paramedics would try their best.
I wonder if the person that was shouting "Dip him" actually done some of the work himself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's always those guys that was, yeah, do that, and they're not even there doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, Matt, not that I want to see that, but I'm digressing.
Best to assist Sait. However, the wound was critical, and despite their best attempts at saving Sait, he would sadly be pronounced dead moments later. With a murder investigation being launched following this, police would find and connect all 8 members of the 7M gang to the...
All 8. So what, their set was only 8 deep? They had the whole set on the glide, jumping out the car like it's one of those circus, you know, with the clowns. The whole set. It was only 8-man set. Hey, let me not talk too much, bro. That's crazy to me. The whole set, all of them. How did they all fit in the? Anyway.
Crime. And in 2018, all 8 of the members would be handed a life sentence. Rest in peace, Sait. Now, Sait is often dissed in recent TDR songs by members like MB, who are often heard disrespecting him and talking about the incident within songs.
That one drop from the hunting seat and the rye got more than spleech. Last year it was convoys.
Following the death of Sait, stabbings and shootings would continue to play out between the...
That come very quick, so I hope I don't get copyright for that.
Gangs, with the crime rate slowly rising. Around August 2018, a mass shooting would be reported within Moss Side, with residents claiming shots were fired around 2 a.m. at a street party. 12 people would be injured, with 9...
There's a clip that I played on my earlier stream. I do sports streams as well. Views on sports, shameless plug. Go and subscribe over there. There's a clip I'm playing, you know, like you're on your way to heaven, but hell's got a bashment rave going on. What is it with these parties, street parties, that seem to bring out people? Like, you might be very paranoid or very safe in your life in terms of where you go, the times you come at, but everyone gets caught at these flipping street parties, bro. And then when people come down to them, again, you're spraying the crowd. Like, what is going on? What, is everyone there done you something dirty? Like, there's no rules though. Me just chatting shit ain't gonna change nothing. But you know, if you can change 1 or 2 people at a time, then that's better than changing no one at all, innit? I've got a son. You know what I mean? And in the spirit of keeping innocent people safe, if there's a street party where everyone's your ops, do you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Know who you're getting.
9 of those people being hit by the bullets. However, luckily no one would die. 2 men would be arrested following this incident, with them being charged for possession of a firearm.
12-year-old girl, sorry.
Would die. 2 men would be...
A 12-year-old girl was among those taken to hospital after shots were fired into a crowd of more than 100 people. I mean, what is going on? Following the annual Caribbean Carnival, like, what is going on? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like people go to carnival because you know you're going to see all your ops there. So that's why they're going with little bits here and little bits there, and people are getting chinged. And it's mad. You can't even go and enjoy yourself. But that's the only place you're going to find certain people. Like, it's, anyway.
Arrested following this incident, with them being charged for possession of a firearm and attempted murder. However, I couldn't find if these people were sentenced. Whilst it's unknown if this was a random attack or a shootout, what is known is that this war was becoming a danger to the public, with innocent civilians being impacted. 2019 and 2020 would be dangerous years in the beef, with stabbings and shootings being a regular occurrence. This then resulted in the crime rate soaring, with over 88,000 reported crimes to do with violence against other people. 2020 would prove to be a dangerous year within the rivalry, with another mass shooting being reported in Moss Side. On the 21st of June 2020,
yeah, lots of things going on in COVID, as I keep saying.
Street party was being held within Moss Side. At around 12 a.m., a male...
Again, during a nighttime street party. And this was in COVID, in violation of COVID lockdown. This was going on in London as well, man. They discovered a party attended by hundreds of people. Anyway,
would arrive at the street party with a gun and would open fire, shooting at two males standing in a car park. Both males would be hit and would be in fatal condition. They would be rushed to hospital. However, they would both die moments later, with one of these members being a TCG member named Cherry.
okay. Now, like I keep saying, guys, I don't condone any of this, right? They've opened up into a crowd again, which because someone, they didn't say both of these guys were TCG. They said one of these guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Again, know your friends, know who you're standing next to.
Police and detectives would launch a murder investigation following this, with them arresting a woman from Birmingham. However, she would be released. Police would later arrest a 25-year-old man. However, he was also released. Until this day, police are still searching for the killer. Rest in peace.
Hold on, did I hear that? Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to quickly. Did I hear that right? I know this is a long video. Hold on, hold on. So the booting where two of these guys died, did they just say they arrested a woman? Now listen, in London we got plenty of setup chicks, do you know what I'm saying? But they're usually not the ones getting involved in the actual drillings, innit? I mean, there's certain girls that are in gangs and they might have stabbed people, you know. But doing shootings, did I hear that right? That's crazy to me. Sorry, guys.
Them arresting a woman from Birmingham. However, she would be released. Police would later arrest a 25-year-old man. However, he was also released. Until this day, police are still searching for the killer. Rest in peace. Following this incident, the beef between TDR and TCG would escalate further, and it would be around a month later that the next person would be killed due to the beef. On the 26th of July, 2020, an RCG member named Mo would be playing football with friends in Moss Side. What he did.
Sorry. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. I mean, you look at him and say, oh, he's just trying to fit in, sort of thing, you know. You know, what does a gangbanger really look like? But I'm just saying, look how young these people are, man. Oh, playing football, you know. Not even slipping at a party or nothing, playing football.
Didn't know was that TCG members would be looking to kill. The group would be seen walking from Cranswick Street towards Henbury Street. They would spot Mo, who was playing football with his friends. The group would begin to chase Mo. Mo would be cornered by the group and would try to flee. However, the members would catch up and stab Mo in the heart. The killers would flee, leaving Mo to die. They were seen running back down Henbury Street on CCTV following.
You know what? Don't know. This footage actually looks similar to me. I think this made the news. This footage actually looks you know what I mean? When was 2020? This actually, I'm getting deja vu looking at this footage. I swear to God. If I'm chatting shit, someone let me know. I swear this made the news.
The incident. Police and emergency services would be called to the scene following the stabbing. However, sadly, Mo would be pronounced dead moments later, with a murder investigation being launched following this. All four of the members would be arrested and charged for the murder. And in 2020...
Look at him. Like, I don't even know what to say anymore.
All of the members would get life sentences with a combined sentence of 54 years. 3 of the members got 15, 14, and 12 years, and the other member got 13 years and 6 months after pleading guilty to possession of a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence. In court, videos from one of the defendants' phones would show images of dead opposition members, including Mo, mixed in with weed. Another video would show the killer rapping and talking about the killing of Mo. Rest in peace, Mo.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, look at him. Like, what was he doing? Listen, never judge a book by its cover, right? I was saying on the Camden one, the active gang one, don't just look at culprit like he's just some any youth that play football. No, he was slapping it at people a week before. He was shooting at people, and these things kind of catch up with you. He was 16. He was doing badness. I mean, I don't know. What was he? Do you know what I'm saying? And then it's mad. It's so crazy.
Following the death of Mo, deadly attacks would continue to play out between the gangs, and in October 2020, 4 boys of the TDR gang would be stabbed by TCG members in one day. This included 2 boys aged 16 and 15 who suffered.
Basically, my son's age. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like, know your kids. You see, like, whoever they are indoors is not who they are when they're outside.
Critical wounds after being stabbed, with the 15-year-old being stabbed in the chest by the TCG members. This is often referenced in new TCG tracks.
When you rap about it, it's not like you're getting down adults, but then the people that are doing it is probably around the same ages. It's just I don't know, it's just mindless stupidness. Like I said, like I keep saying, in my day, it would be like the last resort. And this is how it happens, though. This is how it happens. The moment you start shooting or knifing, it doesn't end. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
lyrics like,
Been in a crate, man can have a chat on my TCGs. We flew out the ride and got 4 in a day. And Mills must have paid to the
We jumped out the ride and got 4 in a day. What, like, and then you go and put it in the lyrics. Like, sometimes I feel like they do these mad things just to say it in a lyric, but nah, I'm probably doing too much. But come on, man.
anyways, 2020 would end with 2021 beginning and the war continuing. In 2021, both TCG and TDR would begin to make music, with a lot of their songs being leaked. The music videos released officially by the gangs would be taken off YouTube due to how rude they were. Prominent members of TDR around this time would be Mzed and MB, and in the TCG gang, prominent members included LK, Jenna, and SK. However, it would be around June 2021 that the beef would get heated again. On the 29th of June 2021, a young member of TDR named Mzed would allegedly get the drop on a TCG member's house. This TCG member was named LK. Mzed would arrive at LK's home and begin shooting into the house, which was empty with no one being there at the time. Anyways,
Again, have you noticed the recurring theme here? You've got the drop on someone, they're outside the yard, rather than waiting for him to come out, or I don't even know. I wouldn't even say force your way in, because there could be other people, there could be kids in there. Gunshot fired at empty house. Does that make you a bad man? If you know you're upstairs, wait for him to come out. I'm not saying to do it, because we're not trying to promote that. I'm just saying there's a recurring theme here. Why on earth have you fired at an empty house? You didn't know the house was empty. You know what I'm saying? But it might not have been. But again, you're not being diligent, are you?
Mzed would flee following this, with police being called after reports of a gun being fired. An investigation would be launched with police actively searching for the shooter. However, before police could arrest anyone, Mzed would sadly become victim to the streets. On the 9th of September 2021, Mzed and his friends would be traveling in a blue BM.
How old is this kid? Do you know what I mean? This is just ridiculous, man.
When TCG members would spot the group within the car. The TCG members would use a stolen car and would begin to chase Mzed and his friends in the car. The chase would last a while. However, it would end when the car that held the TDR members would crash. Mzed and his friends would hop out of the car and start running. The TCG members would jump out of their car and start chasing Mzed and his friends. This was caught on CCTV, and when one of the TCG members named Marquise Richards would start to get tired, he would pass the knife to another member named Ryan.
You're just running down the road with the knife, like, just hanging out. Like, obviously you can't really run with it, like, if it's a long one. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Look at the state of this. Hold on.
And Cashin.
How old is this kid? Is that facial hair or is that dirt? You know what I'm saying? Like, geez Louise, man. Hold on. What are they saying? That was him that took the knife off this youth. Look, just bait on like the most CCTV country in the world, possibly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what goes on.
Named Marquise Richards would start to get tired. He would pass the knife to another member named Ryan Cashin, who would continue to take chase. Mzed would start knocking on people's doors asking for any help. However, no one would answer.
And you find that happens way too often as well, isn't it? I mean, I'm not asking anyone to get stabbed for someone, but geez Louise. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I could have the heart to hear someone out there crying for their life and I just air it. Let me know in the comments.
So Mzed then lay on the floor in order to hide from the attackers. However, the TCG member Ryan Cashin would catch up and shout, "Got you," before stabbing Mzed multiple times. The TCG members would flee, with police and emergency services being called to the scene following the incident. When ambulances would arrive, they would attempt to perform open heart surgery in the street. However, despite their best attempts, Mzed would sadly be pronounced dead.
Look. Looking like Sideshow Bob a little bit there, but these are like kids, man. Like, what is going on? As I keep saying, our bodies were different bodies. Like, it's females. Shit, then.
Dead on the scene, with a murder investigation being launched following this. All 3 of the members would be arrested following.
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to make jokes out of this. This ain't a joke. Like the ghost on the right actually looks like a serial killer. I'm not even gonna joke. Like the rest of these guys. I mean, look at the light skinned Mr. Burns over here. Forget the guy in the middle. Look at the light skinned Mr. Burns over here. Are you kidding? He looks so frail because he's Mr. Burns, not because he's old, because he's so young. He's like, what is this?
The incident with all of the members being handed life sentences, even though 2 of the members didn't actually kill Mzed. The judge argued that they had the intent on killing Mzed. Following the sentencing of the teens, Marquis Richards would look at
I'm trying to compose myself here. The light-skinned Mr. Am I chatting shit? Is this not Mr. Burns? What is going on? Look, gonna go to big man prison and do what? Or maybe not, young offenders, and then you know what I'm saying. But look at
Mzed's mum.
Look at Mr. Burns, bro. Looking all frail and that. These kids, man. Listen, parents, just you have to be diligent. They're gonna hate you for a bit, but it will all be worth it.
And shout, "Your son got smoked," towards the grieving mother.
Mr. Burns said that. No way. No way.
Rest in peace, Mzed. Following the death of Mzed, a teenager would be shot in the chest, and another shooting would occur around Moss Side, with news channels starting to refer to Moss Side as GTA, due to the amount of violence happening around this area. After the death of Mzed, a TDR member named MB would begin to rap. A song would be leaked around this time titled Rest in Peace, Mzed, which was a tribute song to Mzed.
We started off as 2 hood brothers. Hand on my heart, the Lord knows I won't stop. See me huff out the vibe with his 2-pot bottle. RPM said he knows that I love him. Without you, yeah.
It's clear Mzed had a huge impact on TDR, with him being remembered by a lot of TDR. 2022 would begin with a lot of TCG's and TDR's music being leaked. This included a song titled Exposing Ops from MB, which was a seriously cold song, and a lot of the comments would be quick to point out the fact that MB was flowing seriously and was riding the beat. TCG would have a song titled Die Young by LK and other TCG members. Fans would start to point out the fact that LK had a seriously deep and cold voice for UK drill. Anyways, it wouldn't be long until the next person involved in the beat would sadly be killed. On the 20th of April 2022, a member of ATM named Neri would be with his nephew. They would spot 7M members and would begin to chase them armed with knives. However, the 7M members would run into a shop and wait inside. After Neri and his nephew would leave, the 7M members would exit the shop and get into a nearby car. Whilst driving, they would spot Neri, resulting in a car chase.
It must have been new 7M members, right? Because the other 8, you know, the whole gang got jailed. Unless I'm missing something.
The 7M members would end up approaching Neri's window. A fight would then ensue between the 2 groups. This sadly would end with Neri being stabbed multiple times. The members would flee following this, with police and ambulances being called to the scene. However, despite their best attempts at saving Neri, he would sadly be pronounced dead moments later, with yet again another murder investigation being launched. Following the murder, both 7M members would be arrested. This included a 7M member named RB and Mishai. Both of the members would be given life sentences. However, RB would be given 24 years for murder, and Mishai was given 14 years for manslaughter. Following the death of Neri, TDR members like MB would begin to mock the incident loads on songs, due to 7M and TDR being close, and the 7M members involved would also be pictured at Mzed's funeral a year prior. During 2022, TDR member MB would begin to gain a lot of attention after dropping hard songs that contained seriously rude bars. He would gain a lot of attention with songs like Drilling Room and New Ops, which both have over 100,000 views. Now, the beef has continued within the streets. However, a lot of the incidents would be kept out of the public eye, with a lot of the stabbings and shootings around this time being unsolved and not documented. However, only 2 weeks ago, another person would fall victim to the war. On the 4th of April 2024,
days away from his 18th birthday. 420, people. 420, supposed to be a good day.
a young member of TCG named P-Money
Oh no, it was 2024.
would be walking within Moss Side when he would be approached by
Again, P Money. How old does he look? You know what I mean? How old does he look? What type of badness was he on? You know what I mean? So crazy to me, man. So crazy to me.
opposition members believed to be TDR members. However, this hasn't been confirmed. The members would have an altercation. However, it would sadly result in P-Money being stabbed multiple times. The opposition members would flee following the incident, with P-Money being left to bleed out. Police and paramedics would arrive on the scene shortly after. However, sadly, P-Money would be pronounced dead moments later. A murder investigation would be launched recently, seeing the arrests of 3 boys. However, their identities have not been released and probably won't until we see a full trial take place. At this point in time, it's hard to say if this incident was related and who the attackers were. Rest in peace, P-Money. Now, if you have learned anything from this video, make sure it's that the road life isn't worth it and rarely leads to any success, mostly leading to either jail or death. Rest in peace, everyone, in this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe.
Oh yeah, let me stop sharing that. Let me stop sharing that, man. I just find it sad. I find it sad. Do you know what I mean? I really do. But this is the life we lead. This is the life we're in. You know what I mean? This is the world we're in. When I was younger, the kids, you have straighteners and that. Not anymore. But yeah, if you got to the end of this video, thank you ever so much. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We are going to keep the Gangland stuff coming because it's easier than the music right now in terms of copyright. And of course, it's interesting. I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it as well. If you know anything or you've got any requests on other gangs or other videos that you want me to react to, then please leave that in the comments as well. And until next time, people. Peace. We are out.